Hello, everyone. I'm Judge Desire for Knowledge. Welcome to my channel. Hi, IAAH Radio. How are you doing today? Hi, all my friends and family and my peeps on YouTube. How are all of you doing? Hope you're having a great end of your week. Last weekend, I was on the Jelly Beans Benitez party boat. It was awesome. I didn't get a chance to actually upload yet, but I will soon. And unfortunately, today is taped because I have another event, which I will also post again once I get the events out. But I hope all of you are having a great one. It is Friday, is over. It is the weekend. Yay! It's a beautiful day. Thanking God every day. For the last few weeks, we're coming into um, the fall, and so it's going to get dark soon. And soon we won't even have play dates. If you're at work and you come home, it's already dark. It's going to already be dark. So I'm taking advantage of all the summertime that's left. The end of August is almost here, the finale of August. And with that being said, which is the reason why I've been doing the events that I can get to before the end of summer, of course, because then there's not many events unless I fly in the sky, catch flights, right? Yeah, that's what we all should do, catch flights. So I'm Judge Desire for Knowledge, and you are watching Know Your Truth Real Talk, where I talk to the truth to you, my truth, and you bring your truth. Only when I'm on live you're able to do so, but I do not mind if you leave a message, comment, or anything for me. I will come back and check that out and respond if you want. If it's a question, if it's a hey, how you doing? I'll be there. Hey, how are you? So anyway, I hope all of you are enjoying your weekend and have plans as well. The beaches are going to be closed soon. Labor Day is around the week, about a week away, right? Yeah. So basically on this Know Your Truth, this episode of Know Your Truth, Real Talk, I wanted to discuss some things that I've noticed, and I've researched a few things. Some of it is experience from watching others in their relationships, and some of this is coming from directly researching as well. And I thought it would be nice to bring back out on relationships, because I do on relationships. There's a lot of other videos on relationships. Go check them out and see which one pertains to what you're going through or someone else's. Maybe you can help them out there, help them understand whatever they need to make sure that they're not in toxic relationships with another person, whether male or female. This is both sexes. And if you're same sex, that's okay. That's on you. You know, that's your, I'm talking about male, female right now. And if that's the case, then you would want to go see my own relationships. All those episodes, videos are linked down on my show channel. You can go see them. If they are pertaining to you, I'm sure you'll enjoy it when you see it. I try to get as deep as I can with what I believe is my truth. So be it based on, like I said, life experiences, other people's relationships and experiences without mentioning their names, and as well as a lot of research on things that I don't know about it, about the subject. So on this episode of Know Your Truth, Real Talk, the title on this one is On Relationships, How to Spot the Jezebel versus the Jezeboo when dating. You should know who you're dating. Yes, you should. I like doing these relationship stuffs because we've all been there. No one's immune to having at least one bad relationship. And some of us, many. Some of us, all the relationships were bad, right? Hopefully not. But, you know, it is what it is. There are a lot of people out there that has had either great or not so great. So on this episode, I decided to do the Jezebels and the Jezeboos. Let me explain. Jezebels can be male or female. And it doesn't matter what sex they are, but that they are in the same traits and characteristics. And I created Jezeboo because I'm going to explain what a Jezeboo is versus a Jezebel. All right, so Jezeboo, we can just say, is an outright person that is a part of your, stays in a relationship, and Jezebel are usually, that they're streetwalkers and that's all they do in their lifetime space, and whatever, it's about money. They don't want relationships, blah blah blah. You all know those girls. And it's not only pertaining to prostitute, it's just people that are overly sexed and enjoy doing it, so they use it as a career. I guess that is prostitute. But all right, so Jezebels, or we could put it in a better term, escorts, because that's what they like to be called. I don't want to disrespect anyone, but that to me is considered Jezebels. So both the Jezebels are also male and female. Don't forget, in the old days, years and years ago, it was a biblical sense of the same thing, but I'm not referring to those here. I'm referring to the actual, what we see today, pinpointing the Jezebels, that we characteristics and traits that we see, but we don't know who they are, right? So this show, on this episode, I will show you, I will unleash the truth, yeah, about those tricksters that prey on the innocent. Because most of us, we come to our daily work, we put our earnings away, or sometimes we don't even have earnings, and then we get these people that come in, and that's all they're about. They want your money or sex or both. And sometimes if it's sex and you get a disease, because you're not the only one, this can become very crucial. So either sex or money is very important, to be careful with people that come in for those things. And so I decided to discuss that here on this show. So this is not a PG show this week. It's not X-rated either, so don't worry. It's probably an R-rated. By the way, subscribe, like, and share, and come check me out every Saturday live when I can be, and taped when I am. Either way, I hope you enjoy it. But like I was saying, they prey on the innocent. So I wanted to explain again the Jezebel. They are seductive manipulators. They don't hide that they are sexual, and they look for their conquests because they expect to get something in return. So they're like, from every conquest they do, like I said, sex and money. And I created the Jezeboos because we have those that you won't be able to know. They don't walk the street corners. You see them as a simple plain Jane sometimes, or nicely dressed, or maybe not even that. But the their difference is that they're low key on it. They get into relationships with you, and then you find out you was dating a whore, excuse my expression, male or female. And when that is the case, that's a Jezeboo, your boo. Okay, your boo. If she's not, or he is not with you, only you're a Jezeboo, because you got into a relationship with someone else, and you have these people tricked that you are actually in that relationship with that person only, unless you openly tell somebody. To me, you're either a liar or you're a Jezebel. Because I believe in being frank and truthful with people. And when you get in relationships, we're adults. The girls, little girls, stop playing games. Little boys, stop playing games. We don't have time for that. Real women and real men don't have time for games. Um, it's just too much of a waste of time. So I use this channel to bring out those specific people. So if you're one of them on here, you're not gonna like my channel. Go to the channel of what you like, because this is not for you. I am not gonna endorse it for you. Shake it up and give it to you like patty cake clean or anything. I will address the situations and give you my truth on it. So that's why I created Jezeboos, because people do not know that they exist as much. They're still like the Jezebels. The only difference is, like I said, they keep a low profile so that you could think that you're your date girl or date guy, or your future wife or future husband. Put it where it fits. Either way, these are the same thing. People find out later, wow, I didn't know she was like that. Or I didn't know he was like that. They're ready for the next relationship. Then be careful of those type of women and men. Be cautious. Take caution for those who do not know if you're dating one. All right, because they come in, like I said, male and female, and it's very hard to understand, because everyone thinks that the escorts and streetwalkers and people that like to have more than one lover is it's just males or it's just females. No, these are both. Jezebels are not just, it might be in the Bible, it was um, portrayed as a woman, but today I'm updating the new eras that we have today. It has changed. So we have them in males and females. All right. So I'm going to give you first the Jezebel characteristics. All right. So that this way you notice and you can see the difference between a Jezebel and a Jezeboo. So first, they are always on the prowl for new meat. Believe that. For their own gain. Like I said, they're going to be out there for their own gain. What they can get, they get. What they can't get, they move on. And they don't care about it. These are the straight up ones you're going to know they walk the streets. And there's men that will choose a woman that walks the street, either in a marriage or in a relationship, or even if they're single. I don't know why. Because I wouldn't want to be with someone that's been with so many people before me. Ugh. Ugh, it's disgusting. But either way, let's move on. They are on the hunt for more than one partner, of course, because right now that's you, and then tomorrow is someone else. They want money for their services, not love. They're not looking for love. They don't want to be tied down, not yet. I guess they wait until they're a certain age and they can't do it anymore. And basically after that, they're like, okay, I got all the money I need, or not get all the money. But no one's going to choose you now, because sometimes this can't last forever, right? Or can it? They do not mind if you are in other relationships or marriages, even, which is very disrespectful, but it is being done. They survive off other people's assets and earnings instead of to create their own without working for it. In other words, this is their work, this is their profession. They utilize it as if they're a CEO on sex. And I'm laughing because if they were this good, they can actually open their own industries in some other field and do what they need to do, the way that they take money and possessions over people, and possessions over people, because once they get in, everything belongs to them that you have, or they'll try to get everything that you have. So be very careful, because they use their body, seduction and lust to lure their prey in. So when someone is alluring their prey in, you got to be careful, because that's not something that you're going to want to deal with eventually, because it's going to get tiring. It may seem cute, may seem sexy and lustful at the moment. Ooh, this person's good, easy, I don't have to work hard at it. Believe me, whether male or female, if they that easy, then guaranteed you're not the only one there that they're going to be easy with, right? And they also know how to manipulate others into believing you never had better. And I've heard this from people before. And then they realize why. Because you're getting all the exercise and experience from so many people. How would you not be better? I mean, maybe, maybe not. But if that's how they think that I'm better, because I'm out here experiencing it all. So basically, those type of minded people are going to believe that. And they also will siphon all they can from you through lust, if you allow it, until you have no more. And then they move on to the next prey. And it's easy as that. All right. So I'm just going to go back to what I'm explaining is Jezebel characteristics and traits right now. And then I'll move on to Jezeboo. All right, and they have no regrets of their actions, nor do they feel shamed. And I have seen some that have never felt the shame. They don't think that there's a problem with it. It's a part of their life, and that's who they are. And so what? It's normal, and it's respectful to them, respectable work to them, and they have no shame in their game, and they don't care. And I've went to other countries, and I've seen it as well, outright. And I won't mention where that is, and no shame at all. I'm telling you, it's like, I don't care. I'm getting paid. You know, good luck with that one. But they are getting paid, because we got idiots out here. Did I say idiots? I'm sorry. Some people out here that think that that's okay, and making them the Jezebels feel like it's okay, so why not? Why don't they think it's okay? If you're going to accept them and you're paying them and you're making it as if they're wife material, then they think that, right? And another trait they have is deceptive and hides their true motives. So be very careful. That is also a trait of a Jezeboo as well, characteristic, which I am going to go to now. Jezeboo characteristics. In the meantime, please like, share, and subscribe. All right, guys? I'm just Desire for Knowledge. Come check me out on IAAH Radio when you're on the go and on YouTube every Saturday at 3 o'clock for Know Your Truth Real Talk. Thank you, DJ 5 a.m. and all the great DJs and the best music in town, IAAH Radio, for my talk show there, talk radio channels there, and for the great music and the great DJs that play on there. Go check them out, all right? All right, so we're getting to Jezeboo's characteristics. They date for their own personal gain. Yeah, but in reality, they want to be the same as the Jezebels, but they're your Jezeboos. They manipulate and lie. Their manipulations and lies actually gets you into trusting them. And they're also vindictive when crossed. So be very careful when they're crossed. They're victim. They don't want you telling them, "Are you sure you're just with me?" or "Are we in a one-time relationship?" They don't care. They just want to move forward. You're getting your sex. You do what you do. When you have that type of person around you, you got to figure it out. You know, there's going to be red flags, and I'll get to that later. They act as if they are serious about you throughout the relationship until you see it's an act, and then it may be too late. So be really careful with those type of people, male or female. I'm not going to pick on women when we know there's a lot of them out there, right? Guys, you know, they're more now than ever, as it used to be a guy's trade, right, guys? And now the women are taking over. Oof, you can all have that. Either way, let's get back to what I was saying about the characteristics of a Jezeboo. All right, so I told you they manipulate and lie into trusting them, and then they get vindictive when crossed, right? They act as if they are serious about you throughout the relationship until you see it's an act, and then it's maybe too late, right? I went past that. Sorry, guys. All right, so then after that, once you cross them, they're going to be really upset with you because you found out. They need your money and whatever it is you give them. They don't need sex, they can move on to the next one. But basically, this is how they're going to get their foundation is from you. Unlike the Jezebels, who's doing it for money, these girls and guys are doing it for money as well as to attain your time, someone to take them out, treat them right, give them the money. It's like a whole new thing. By being a Jezeboo, you are actually dating someone for all the things above, and on the side, you have the other ones available if this one isn't giving you what you need. So, this is what I call a Jezeboo. They charm you into their web of deceit, first acting as a loyal friend for some and or a partner to win your trust, hoping you date or marry them or both. Now, that's what a Jezeboo does. Jezeboos want to marry you if they can, to later divorce you and take it all. Jezebels, they're like waiting for that rich guy, that really true filthy rich ones, before they drop that or have a child with them and take their stuff as well. So these are the difference in the characteristics of them all. And they're the kinds that would like to win your trust so that they can do so. All right, and um, they also come in all types of, like I said, males and females, and they also become anyone you want them to be. I noticed that. I've seen and heard a lot of stuff about that. And I've seen it. Women will ask these questions. They'll ask you, what do you want in a woman or a man? What do you see in a man or a woman? Only to have you give up the answers because they can't be that person because they're actually deceiving you. So what they do is they'll ask you questions and become that person. You ever heard that and seen that before? I've seen it, and I've heard it, I should say. They'll become that person for you because that will teach them whatever your answer is not to do this. I won't do that. And I won't do this. I'm going to be everything that person says, whether it's a male or female. That's the test right there. What are you looking for in a person, in a man or a woman? They always ask. So if you are being asked a lot, sometimes it's innocent. It's not always going to be the same. Everybody's not a Jezebel, Jezeboo. But Jezeboos are quick on asking questions so that they can become whoever that you want them to become. And what you should do about that is while they're playing along, you ask them what do you like in to see me? Um, what kind of person would you like me to be seen as? And once you say that, which is okay, now you're confusing them. Wait a minute, he's asking me. I'm supposed to get the answers and be fed off from him. Now I don't know what to do because now there's confusion because these are the manipulation processes that they do. They want to now know um, who who you want and what you want in a partner, not hear you ask them, what are you looking for in me as a partner? No, don't ever ask that question because those Chesapeake's will get upset because now they're getting caught out there. And that's the answers. I think that's the only way you're going to know if that person is in for you, in a relationship with you or want you for something else. If they're a Jezebel, they're going to ask that question. And your question will be, what do you think I'd be looking for in a woman or a man? All right. And that will baffle. If they act hesitant and something's wrong with them answering this question, or they have, it takes time. Be careful of time taking answers because usually their lies manipulated by them. And so, with that being said, I know for a fact these little things that people do, you can also play back on them because you want to realize, find out, I should say, you want to be informed ahead of time before you get serious with any of these type of Jezebels, whichever one they are, whether it's an actual Jezebel and you already know they're an escort or a streetwalker, or the ones that charm you to make you believe that they're here for a relationship, but they're also Jezebels. But they, like I said, I call them Jezeboos. Um, they like to charm you with an agenda up their sleeves, which I said already. Um, and they don't have genuine love for no one but themselves. They display that kind that's too good to be true kind of love, but it's not real love. It's to create emotional dependence, so that you will always look for that type of person in them and be like, oh my God, I met the right one. They are it. I love them. And that's when love bombing and catfishing comes in. So all of these traits here and characteristics of Jezeboo is important to take this down. And if you don't write it down, listen to it when you're dating and in a relationship, because they master in emotional manipulation. So you have to be careful when looking at these toxic behaviors, regardless of gender. Again, I'm going to say both male and female. Ask yourself these questions. They're most likely red flags, and I'm going to start it off. 1, is the person manipulative? 2, do they respect your boundaries and others? 3, are they using their influences, such as behaviors, to pull you in? In other words, lies. You know, I'm the best, I'm a good person, I never date, but they're dating others and you don't know about it. Those kind of things. 4, do they use their charm? Do they use their charm, guilt, or flattery to influence others around you when you're out and about? Then check that out too. Do they, and 5, do they pull strings to get their way? 6, do they tear others down with gossip, criticism, or blame others in front of you or yourself in a conversation? If they do any of these things, those are red flags as well. Number 7 points out if they always point out flaws in others except for themselves, that's another one. Do they create drama to cause attention to themselves? That's a lot there. And that's a real big issue because those manipulations will draw you in. Some people it would turn off, but basically they know how to manipulate the situation where it's like you won't even realize what is being done. Are they secretive and do not like to hear the truth about themselves? That's really big because sometimes you can have someone that sees the truth and wants to help you out there and they see it and they're confronting you with it and you're like, no, no, that's not the truth, and this and that. So look at that red flag as well. And the last one, twist the truth or lies to deceive when convenient. That's what they do. They flip the page. When you get someone that flips it all the time, they'll get caught in their lie eventually. And I've seen this happen with a few people that they get caught in a lie and they pulled out of the relationship now because you got caught. Eventually, the lie and the manipulation and the trickster parts of a person's mind that makes them do these things, you forget. You forget what you said, you forgot what you didn't say, what you did say, and it all breaks down. And that can break the relationship. Good for you if it did. If you found it and caught it, good for you. Because this manipulation process will go on for a long time. These are the red flags. You know, they're very common traits of the Jezebels. And I say Jezebels because Jezeboo and Jezebels are the same. I just described what the Jezeboo is and what the Jezebels are. So they're actually one, but I split them in two because one is not worried about walking, escorting, and seeing other men while other men know. If you choose to be that way, then they know you already know. And the Jezeboo is the type that stays there and plays like they're a housewife and married material, but they're truly not. That's the difference. Um, and most of these traits, if you look at them, and most of these traits, if you looked at most of these traits and red flags checked off on your list, all right, then you may need be dealing with a Jezebel influence. So be careful in that. In your relationship, you could be dealing with one, or around someone around you may be one, um, whether it's a partner, friend, or even a family member. They don't have to be directly in a relationship with you, but they are around. So be careful because they'll, friends, whatever, they'll do the same to you they do to their partners. So be very careful of being used by manipulators in your family, friends, and whatever. If these are the characteristics and traits of these people, they'll do it in their own family as well. Trick to make, as long as they make them ends meet with your money and whomever, then these Jezebels are going to do what it takes. And it doesn't matter to whom, partners, friends, family. All right, so be aware of that. It may help you to determine, this list here may help you to determine if these tricksters and manipulators are all you have to move. I'm sorry. It may help you to determine ahead of time. Yeah. I wanted to give myself a little few notes. Sorry about that. Yeah, this will help you. These trickster manipulators take you for all you have. So be careful because once they take you for all you have, they move on to the um, next. So understand you are not their boo. You're just next. And a lot of people know that. When you see someone that acts in these traits and characteristics, you are not their boo, but they'll have you believe it. You're just next. The next person they're taking apart, the next person that you're wasting your time with, they'll take your time, your attention, everything away from you, including your monetary things that belong to you, possessions, whatever it is that's required of them to attain what they can't do for themselves will be taken from you. So be very careful about that. And always remember, you're not their boo, you're just next. And boo meaning female or male, because I said Jezeboos are actually dating people as if it's normal, but and they hide everything. that the Jezebels don't. Their Jezebels go out, and you're gonna know they are. They're not ashamed of it. Jezeboos are quiet, more underlying, trying to make you believe that they're the best thing that ever happened to you. Good housewife, housewife, good wife material, so that therefore they'll draw you in, catch you in their web, and voila, you're done. And believe me, I've had countless people I know, female and males, mostly males, that have been used and thrown in the garbage like a piece of trash after they were done. And with that being said, I did hear about this influencer. I don't want to mention the name now. It happened this week. She was shot up in New York, and she is one. They said she was a model. She wasn't a model. She was a Jezeboo or a Jezebel. I don't know. And it's hard to say this about someone that was killed, which no one has a right to do that. But when you play the game with people, some people are not going to take that game very lightly. So be very careful with these type of people, because they'll have you put in prison once you get so angry. People lose emotions, they kill you, whatever the case may be. You don't want to end up on the other side of whichever one, jail or dead. So it's very important that you do listen and understand when you're being used, how far you're ready to take that, how willing are you to stay long in that relationship instead of figuring it out. Don't let them manipulate you and trick you. As I was saying, she was considered an influencer, which is embarrassing for me and a lot of influencers that are here to actually bring the light. We're here to try to do empowerment, self-love, self-care to others. Not every influencer does that, but most of us. And then a second slap in the head, because we women do not like to be degraded by men. And we have these women, Jezebels, Jezeboos, male or female, doing that. I'm speaking from me being a woman. It's very degrading, since I worked my whole life, and honestly would rather do that than lay on my back. There's no skill there. Those skills are easy. I mean, anyone could attain it, anyone could get it. It's not something you worked hard at, and it's degrading too. But unfortunately, this person lost their life, and it's sad. And I feel sorry for her family and her children. But the life you lead here is going to tell you who you are. And at the end, unfortunately, it comes to bite you. So be really careful out there and make sure it means something to you, that your life has significance instead of experience on what you did here. I think if Jezebels and Jezeboos knew that, they would change their course of careers or professions, as they call themselves. So thank you for watching this show, this episode of Know Your Truth, Real Talk with me, Judge Desire for Knowledge. And I'll be back next Saturday at 3 o'clock on YouTube, here in YouTube and IAAH Radio, with the best DJs and the best music. And with that being said, here on Know Your Truth, Real Talk with me, Judge Desire for Knowledge, bringing you the truth and nothing but the truth, is now adjourned. See you next week. Ciao. Like, share, and subscribe. Ciao.